Hi, I'm Christine Cushing, and welcome to another helping of my favorite foods. Welcome to my kitchen. Today, it's something super exciting. If you've ever been to an Indian restaurant, for sure you know what butter chicken is. Everybody loves it, including me. I want to give you my take on it. It's lighter and faster. Let's get going. First thing we want to do is get our spices together because Indian cuisine is all about those beautiful spice blends. My technique is a little bit more simplified, so again I'm saying it's my version of it. In my bowl I have just some plain yogurt, full fat, lean, any way you like it, about 1/3 cup or 75 ml. And what I'm going to do is marinate my chicken initially in this blend to give me my first burst of flavor, okay? So I want to introduce you, if you don't know them, cardamom seeds. Cardamom seeds have this beautiful floral, really rich flavor. It's quite difficult to actually pinpoint the flavor, but if you've ever tasted them, you know they're very perfumey. So I'm going to go with 2 green cardamom seeds for the marinade. So these are the cardamom with an M on the end. A lot of people say cardamom, it's cardamom. I'm going to put it in my mortar and pestle to show you what's inside, because it's inside where the seed is that we want to break. So just give it a little bash there. And then you got these beautiful little seeds. Oh, right away those aromas are wafting up. Fantastic. So I'm just going to use my pestle, just a couple of boom, boom, boom. So all of these spices that I'm going to introduce you to are going to go into my yogurt and create this mixture. This is a simplified version. Don't worry, you don't need a million spices, but there's a couple of things, and cardamom I think is one of them. So in is going to go to cardamom. Next are going to be this little trio that I'm going to add. It'll be some turmeric, a little bit of sweet paprika, and some chili flakes, whatever kind you like, whatever you have on hand, something hot. Turmeric is super cool. It's a rhizome like ginger is, and this is what it looks like fresh. Everybody's all gaga over turmeric these days. It's got these amazing properties, anti-inflammatory. So all these spices are now going to go in to meet the cardamom with my yogurt. Next thing I'm going to do is give it just a little hit of garlic. Just give it a little smash, and I'm going to throw that right in, just like that. It's just for some marinating flavor. Now my chicken is going to go in there. I want to season this first with a little bit of salt, but no pepper, because really the pepper, there's so many different spices already in this that I don't want to really hit it with any pepper. I might just add a bit at the end. And then in it's going to go to the yogurt mixture. This marinating, this first step with the yogurt, is actually going to start to cook the chicken, the acidity of the yogurt, but it's also going to give it a lot of flavor. So ideally I want to marinate this for about 2 hours. So after a couple hours, it's time to get these babies in the oven. So the cool thing about this dish, and we haven't really talked about this yet, is where it originated and why does everybody love it so much. It's not one of those ancient recipes obviously it's from India, but it's not one of those ancient recipes. It's, the consensus is, I'm getting this stuff ready on a baking sheet that's lined with parchment paper, and my oven is now at 400 Fahrenheit, about 200 Celsius. I don't put any fat on here because the parchment paper is going to help me. So the consensus, back to the origins, is that it was invented or created in the 50s in Delhi, and everybody loves this dish. But initially they created it to use leftover chicken that had already been roasted or done on the tandoor, and that's why I'm baking it first, and then we're going to make a sauce and then put these in the sauce. So it's kind of a 2-step process. But while they're baking, you make the sauce, the whole thing comes together in less than an hour. It's a great dish. Oven, 20 minutes. It doesn't need any longer than that. So first step of the sauce is to get that initial layer of flavor. And let's introduce you to ghee or clarified butter. Look at this baby. This smells like hazelnuts. It's really fantastic. This is the butter in the butter chicken. In are gonna go the onions. So I want to get these caramelized a little bit, and there's another layer now of spices. Normally in Indian cuisine, you really got a long and slow cooking of this. So this is really just a hint of that. It's not going to take super long, but you know, you don't want to skip every step. So right here, I've got the next batch of spices. Again, a little bit of chili, something hot. These are just regular dried flakes. About 1.5 tablespoons of sweet paprika, and about 1.5 tablespoons of garam masala. Garam masala just translated means spice blend. So kind of when you say curry powder, that's loosely translated garam masala, spice blend. Very complex Indian cuisine, so I don't want to oversimplify it, but I'm just saying for the purposes of butter chicken, garam masala is great. There's a little bit of cardamom in there. It tends to be a little bit sweeter. This is not so pungent, this spice blend, but you gotta also have some ginger. Here's a little trick I learned years ago from my friend Martin Yan. Peeling ginger, just use a spoon. Just use the back of a spoon. Truth be told, this ginger I have is not super fresh, so when it's a little bit soggy like this, it's harder to peel. A good thing to do if you buy ginger and you think, holy cow, what am I gonna do with it all? You can just put it in the freezer and then just grate it from frozen. It's super great. So, super great, did you get it? Ah. I'm gonna grate some ginger. All right, now we're gonna keep layering. My onions are smelling, I keep calling them onions, they're shallots. To me, they're interchangeable. And now I'm gonna add those beautiful spices. Garam masala, sweet paprika, and chili. Oh, does that smell good? I'm gonna hit it with a little bit more garlic because in the marinade of the chicken, I actually just crush the garlic and then it's not gonna impart too much flavor there. Okay, just coarsely chopped, and that's gonna go in. Once you've added the garlic, and I mean once you've added the garlic, you wanna start continuing the other ingredients because you don't want that to burn. So coconut and tomatoes. I like to just crush them with my hands. Couple more ingredients I'm gonna add. Tomato paste for a little bit of texture. Whoever decided to put tomato paste in a tube, genius. That to me is the $1 million idea. Just a tablespoon or so. And last, but certainly not least, a little almond butter. It's gonna give it that nuttiness, a little bit more richness. And that's gonna simmer down. So we're really trying to create complexity in a simple way. It's come to a boil. I wanna put a lid on it and leave it just ajar because what I wanna do is create this nice richness. I want it to reduce by half, turn down the heat. The aromas are insane. I hear lots of bubbling happening. 20 minutes later, check out what the sauce looks like. It's bubbling, nice and thick, and now the chicken that's also done is just going to, okay, here comes the chicken. Now I'm starting to get the mouth-watering effect. You know you're making something good when you just can't wait to taste it, right? And really that's about absorbing the flavor. It's not about cooking the chicken. The chicken is cooked. Look at that. Oh, lid on, 10 minutes. Look at this. I don't think you're ever gonna wanna have this in a restaurant again. Look at it. I'm gonna just sprinkle with that coriander. That looks so good. One last thing. Tell me that doesn't look like you just ordered it in a restaurant. Now here's what I wanted to show you. When you go for butter chicken in a restaurant, it's usually swimming in a good layer of that butter on top. You see how I was telling you at the beginning, this is lighter and quicker? Look at how light that is. You have the richness, but you don't have, it's not swimming in butter. Oh, it tastes good. Tender, it's flavorful. You really feel like you've been simmering this all day, and really it took less than an hour. This is a delicious recipe that I know you're gonna love. Butter chicken, baby. Butter chicken, lighter and quicker. Thank you for joining me on My Favorite Foods. Be sure to subscribe and let me know what your favorite foods are. Maybe I can cook it for you. See ya.